Hi guys, it's Julia for Gerda Steiner Designs, and we have a completely new stamp set at Gerda Steiner Designs. It's called, I don't know what it's called, but it has monsters in it, like tons of monsters. And I wanted to create a fun background, so did some foiling with a laminator I bought off Amazon, a cheap one. And I tried for an entire day all kinds of different techniques, and it didn't work out. You might think this looks pretty, but look at the middle right, and you can see black spots where the foil just doesn't stick. And this is actually a good result that I got. So I returned the cheap laminator, and I'm gonna wait for the mini mink to be released here in Europe and gonna give this a try again, to see if because foiling looks awesome, but the cheap laminator that I got just didn't work out. In case you're wondering, it was the Olympus A230, and it didn't work. It didn't get hot enough. So, but I still have this beautiful foiled background, and it wouldn't be a Gerda Steiner Designs video if it wouldn't be about Gerda Steiner Designs stamps. So here's the stamp set. Really cute monsters, and I'm going to be using this little buddy here. He looks so happy and a little bit drunk, if I may say so. Maybe I'm just looking like that when I'm drunk, like I have this silly grin on my face and everything's just so pretty. Anyhow, back to crafting. I created a mask here. I'm just gonna mask this little fellow off because I want to do some stamping in the background. Now, I am going to be using rubber stamps by Purple Onion Designs, and rubber stamps have this tiny little drawback that you can't see through them. So how do you make sure you place them correctly? Well, the craft world has found a solution for this problem, and it's called a Stamp-A-Magic. Yes, I know, crazy name, but it works. Basically, it consists of two things. One is this acetate, this plastic thing that you see me push around here, and it's rectangular, actually it's square, and you should always move your project out of the way if you work with ink. And you basically fit this little acetate piece into the green positioner, like this, and you make sure that it's flush, that it doesn't move. And then you have your rectangular acrylic block fitted in there and stamp your image onto the this acetate piece. Now, how do you get it on the stamp? So glad you asked. You basically, first of all, you secure your paper, because you don't want your paper to move. Ask me how many projects this has ruined me. So take the 2 seconds and secure your paper. Then you grab this acetate and you position the image exactly where it's supposed to go, bring back the positioner, remove the acetate, and since you have not moved the stamp from the acrylic block, you can just fit it right in there and it will stamp exactly where it needs to go. Perfectly, every single time. And then you just repeat this for all the other images. Now, somebody asked me if you could also use a MISTI, the stamp positioning tool, for this. I personally don't think so, because I don't see how it would work. You can try, maybe you can educate me, but I just think that this tool is definitely worth the money if you're working with rubber stamps. It costs like 10 euros, which is maybe like 11 bucks or 12 bucks. So it's really inexpensive, and if you use rubber stamps, it will save you so much heartache. It's a really good investment. And now for the magic part, I'm pulling off the mask. I always like this part, because then you finally see it's not a mess. You have actually created a beautiful scene. Works every single time. Love it. So now, oh yeah, I also added some of this, like, I like to call it sparkle. It's from the same stamp set. You can check out the supplies in the video description below. It just makes the entire scene look a little bit more like, fuzzy. Now for the coloring, the Copic coloring, I used a red, deep red here, and then I'm coming in with an RV. And I just wanted to show you that you don't have to always color in the same color family. I purchased the Hex Chart by Sandy Alnock, and I can absolutely recommend it to you. It's a fantastic, investment. It's just like maybe like $5 or something. It's not expensive at all. It costs less than a Copic. And it just helps you to find color combinations you might not regularly think of. For example, as I did with the deep red color and then the pink colors. For the other colors, it's much easier. I'm staying within the color families, so it's much easier for me to blend all of this out. For the monster, before I colored that one, and I will speed this up for you then, I added a few circles because I wanted to give him more interest, and he just looks so happy, and I thought a happy monster needs to have some, spots on his fur. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm using a Copic multiliner, which will not smear, of course, when used with Copics. These are the colors that I'm going to be using. Remember, you can always pause the video to write down the colors. And now I'm going to play some music for you guys. No, I apologize. My camera stopped recording before I was done coloring. I've actually ordered another camera, and I hope, because it's a real video camera, I won't have this 30-minute limit anymore, because that's just very annoying. Back to the card. I tried mounting the white panel on my glitter foily card base there, and it didn't stand out enough. So I'm matting this against some purple cardstock that matches the purple drink. So I have some contrast basically around this. I'm adding a generous amount of glue on the back with my ATG gun. I just love my ATG gun. And then I'm mounting this onto this foiled background, because I'm covering up most of it. You won't even see that it didn't work perfectly everywhere. I'm using the silver jelly roll pen to add some sparkle to the ice cubes. It's like Wink of Stella, only much more intensive and a little bit more opaque, but it just gives fantastic sparkle, so I had to use it, of course. And then I'm coming in with my glossy accents here to cover the ice cubes. And you can see me using this fine tip applicator. Now, I've mentioned this in some other videos, and this has been sent to me from the UK from my viewer Julie. Thank you again so much, Julie, because my faith in glossy accents is basically restored. I had given up on glossy accents because it was constantly clogging up, and I had to actually cut down the original nozzle because it just was clogged. I couldn't get it to work, and was always like, I hesitated using glossy accents because it was so difficult to use. I complained about that in a video, and then Julie sent me this applicator, and it's perfect. It works. It just blows my mind that, sometimes life can be so simple. It's crazy. So the thing is, of course, before I started using it, I also squeezed the bottle after I was done to make sure that the nozzle was no longer filled, but it still clogged up every single time. And with this fine tip applicator, I also always, when I'm done, I'm grabbing a piece of scrap paper or an old baby wipe, and I'm squeezing until there's only air coming out of the nozzle. Sometimes there's quite a lot of glue that still comes out until the air finally comes out. But this nozzle, when you close it, the cap has a very thin metal stick that you fit into this nozzle, and that I think makes sure that it doesn't clog up. It hasn't clogged up for me once since I've started using it, and I've been using it for about 4 weeks, so I'm super happy with it. Here's a close-up of the card and of the glossy accents that I've applied, and here you have a still of the entire card. Hopefully you can see the entirety of it. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you give the stamps a look because it's awesome. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again soon. Bye!